Boxing King Media, we're delighted to be joined by 22-year-old from Texas, Omar Juarez. Omar, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Been staying active and healthy, most importantly, but I'm doing really good.
I'm glad you said the word active, because COVID's been unlucky for a lot of fighters, but I think, are you about to have your 5th fight of the COVID period?
Yes, sir. Definitely. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. And, I'm blessed to be on PBC. I'm blessed to have Al Heyman on my side. And he kept me active during the pandemic. I got, I think, 3-4 fights in when nobody was fighting. I fought like literally back to back. I remember fighting in, what was it, August, late August?
Yeah.
And then maybe a month after, all right, there's another show, in 3-4 weeks, stay active, stay ready. You're gonna go on again. So to be able to go like while the pandemic was going on, it's a blessing, man.
I want the fans to know as well, you're 22 and it feels like you've been around for a long time. Like, you're 13 fights in now. Do you feel like yourself, like you've got a lot of experience behind you now?
I try not to look at it that way, bro. I try to humble myself, most importantly, and I'm always going to be a student of the game. And no matter how long, I've been in this sport, I still feel like there's room for improvement. So, as a person, I have grown. Boxing has helped me a lot outside of the ring, but inside the ring, I'll forever be a student.
And obviously, I know you've got a fight coming up, but before I get to that, I just want to quickly talk about, obviously you've had 13 fights, and I was looking earlier on, 8 of them fights have been against guys with winning records. Has that been deliberately done, or, has it just happened the way it's happened?
No, man, I have the best managers in the game. Bob Santos, Luis de Cuas, and of course Al Heyman. They're watching over me. They're building me up, to become a world champion, and most important, to stay a world champion. So, they've been building me up the right way, and we're still going. We're still together. We're still training hard, working hard, and the goal is still the same, man. Very first world champion from Brownsville, Texas.
And that was going to be my next thing. You said the first champ from Brownsville, Texas. What kind of boxing history does Brownsville have? Because most UK fans, when you mention the word Brownsville, they're thinking Mike Tyson,
New York. Yeah, New York.
It.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Tell us about the boxing history in Texas, Brownsville.
I'm being honest, man. We haven't had much. The boxer that I look up to when I was growing up probably did the most in Brownsville boxing. His name was Sergio Perales, but he didn't really do much. It's a blessing to be able to represent my city, and it's a blessing to be the very first. I in some sort of way for Brownsville, I have broken history. I'm the very first fighter to get signed by any promotion company, very first fighter to be fighting on national TV, and it's crazy, man. The exposure that I've been getting, the love that I've been getting from PBC, from the people in Brownsville, it's a blessing, and I'm just pushing myself because I know I got a little brother behind me. I got a whole team behind me that are watching me, and I got to set the example. So I'm going all in. You know what I mean?
Texas as a whole does have a lot of boxing history, but I didn't realize myself till I looked into it how big Texas actually is. Like driving from like Brownsville to, I don't know, San Antonio, it's like 5-6 hours or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I spend my camps here in San Antonio, and it's 4 hours away. So, I got to be away from home, but it's a sacrifice in the discipline that I'm willing to do. And yeah, man, Texas is huge. I remember going like to the nationals, and it would be hard, fighting in the state tournaments, because there was so many fighters, so much talent in Texas and in California. But yeah, bro, Texas is huge.
And what's your training situation? Do you train with your father, or is there someone else that mainly does your training?
No, well, right now, since I'm doing camp in San Antonio, I train with my trainer, Rick Nunez. Rick Nunez, he was a trainer of Mario Barrios for his first 17 fights before Mario went with Virgil Hunter. So I'll spend about, the 3-4 weeks back at home with my father. He's the one that's helped me with the footwork, with the speed and everything. And then once, the 6-week training camp starts, I'll come over here to San Antonio.
And you've obviously sparred with Mario Barrios, who's going to be headlining the card that you're fighting on next. And I think Gervonta Davis, you had some rounds with as well. Just into fighters, Lon, tell me about the experience in that and what you learned about yourself, sparring with them guys.
It's a blessing, man. It really is, because every single time that I spar, that kind of altitude of fighters, I always go in there wanting to learn. So I'm trying things, I'm doing things that I don't normally do. Of course, cautiously, but I learned so much with just one round of sparring, those champions.
And moving on to your fight, just been announced today. You're fighting on Feb 5th in Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay, I think it is.
Yeah, Mandalay Bay.
When did you get the news? And you got a massive smile on your face.
Oh yeah, man, it's a blessing, but you know, I'm treating it like any other fight. If all things go well, you know, it's gonna be my pay-per-view debut, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to make some noise. The opponent is not for sure yet, so we're still working on that. Of course, I'll let you know. But it's just, to me, it's another fight. I'm blessed to be back in Vegas, and I think I'm gonna be spending 2 to 3 weeks before the fight in Vegas with my manager. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to step up my game. I'm excited to, most importantly, fight in Vegas. It's an awesome fight atmosphere.
And I've noticed, obviously, from your first 6 fights or so, and then your next 6, there's been a massive change in the way you fight. You know, you're a young, flashy kid, you know, fast feet and in and out. And now you tend to stand down on your punches. You're sitting down and you're letting them body shots go. Is that something deliberately you've worked on, or? Just
oh yeah, definitely. I've been with the footwork. I started maybe when I started boxing at 8 years old. Thing was, I didn't like to get hit, so I did everything and anything and everything I could do with my feet to not get hit, in and out, running around the ring if I could. So that kind of, it helped me get this far in my career. So I wasn't going to take my footwork away. As I was progressing, obviously going into 10-round, 12-round fights, the footwork, it'll only work to a certain extent. There's some fighters out there, Russian fighters, that'll tire you out with the pressure. So these past couple of fights, me sitting down on my punches, I've been trying things. I've been, trying to work inside the pocket, something that I haven't been doing, trying to catch punches, countering punches on the inside. It's a lot of stuff that I've been working on, but it's going to make me a better, fighter in the future.
And just talking about your footwork, I remember speaking to you a long time ago, and you mentioned Prince Naseem. I think you said you were a big fan of Prince Naseem. What are your early memories of Nas?
Oh man, I remember watching him, watching Roy, I think it was them two that really had that footwork that you couldn't really explain what kind of movements they were doing. The not so much the movements, but their eye coordination, the shoulders, the feints that they would do. All that I would watch when I was a little kid. I remember my siblings and I, we were in underwear, shadow boxing, doing those dance moves just like them. And that's what we called them, dance moves. And it just came into play when we first put on the gloves, where I was like, wow, this is fun. I like it. And,
I hate to mention it, but I've got to mention, obviously, you suffered your first loss, a couple of fights ago, a majority decision. Just tell me the fallout from that. There's famous quotes about, see who's in your locker room when you lose. Did you experience such things? How was it for you with family and friends and that?
No, man. Well, yeah, because I remember people were telling me like, oh, you're gonna find out where your real friends are. And to me, before I started my career, before I even started boxing, I always said that my best friend was my family, my best friend, my fiance. My best friend is the people that were there for me when I really wasn't anything in the sport. When I was losing, my first 40 fights, I only had 8 wins. That goes to show you that the sport was basically telling me to quit. I had very, very few people in my corner, and the same people that I have in my corner today. So after the fight, it was painful, bro. It really was. I took a couple of days to feel sorry for myself, but after that, I knew that it was possible. The doors are, closing. It is a small opening, but it's possible. And as long as it's possible, as long as I have faith in myself and my abilities, the sky's not the limit. The only limit is myself. So I continue to train. I took maybe a week off, and I was back in the gym like nothing. People will ask me like, hey, how do you feel? And this and that. So I love it, man. I love the loss. It made me who I am today. And that's exactly why I went back, this last fight, and I went with a free mind, man. I went with the mentality of, I'm not going to worry about losing. I'm not going to worry about staying undefeated. Right now, I'm just going to have fun. And I just had fun my last fight.
I know you're quite a deeply religious young man. How much did that play, part in obviously helping you get over what's happened and looking ahead?
A big part, man. A big part. I pray to God. I pray to God every day, thanking Him for everything that's happened in my career. Everything's a blessing. Everything happens for a reason. And if I had the negative mentality of why did this happen to me, I don't think I would have gotten up from anything. In that fight, I learned a lot, especially about myself. So I take all that into play, and then I demonstrate I demonstrated in the day of the fight.
And looking ahead, Omar, Feb 5th, you're going to be on the undercard of Keith Thurman and your good friend Mario. I'm going to have to ask you, how do you see that main event going?
A lot of people are doubting Mario, bro. But the thing is that he's not going to be the same fighter at 140 to 147. I've sparred him. And when he's walking around, he has a heavy hand. He has heavy arms.
He's a big guy as well, man.
Yeah, bro. He's huge, man. And I tell him all the time, bro, I don't know how you make 140, man. Like I don't know how you make it. And he says, like, bro, I think it's like from the night before to the day of the weigh-in, he still has like 12 pounds to go. So like this last fight, he was squeezing the last of it. So I feel like 147 he's gonna be a lot stronger. The thing with Mario is that when he moved up finally in weight to 140, he got 8 straight knockouts. That's the thing a lot of people are forgetting. So when he moves up to 147, he's gonna be a lot stronger. And I gotta go with my boy Mario.
And obviously Keith's not fought for a long time as well. And I think I told you a while ago, I met Mario in Vegas a couple of months ago, and I was amazed how big the guy is.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I still don't know to this day how he made 140, but you know, I'm glad he's moving up to 147. I'm glad he's going to be fighting healthier, and you know, I'm glad he's okay. You know, after the loss, even after the loss, he was still positive minded and everything. You know, after I lost, you know, we FaceTimed each other and we're like, hey, what's up? You know, twinsies. You know, we both had black eyes and stuff. So we were both in good spirits with our loss, and we both, you know, hit the gym right after that.
And just quickly asked you earlier about Gervonta Davis. You know, how was that experience sparring with him?
It was good, man. It really was. Not so much, you know, sparring Tank, but because, you know, he had guys lined up. So I just happened to be one of the guys, and I sparred him the first day. And after that, he was like, "No, I want you. I want you." Like he sparred. I don't know how many guys. Like, I want you. Like, he told this guy, like, hey, here, get his contact information. So we ended up going back and everything. And the part was the different part, I guess, was sparring there at the Mayweather gym, man. It's very intimidating. You know what I mean? They want you to get hurt there. So I knew, all right, going into this sparring, I got to be in shape. So luckily it was right after my first COVID fight. So I was still in shape. I was still training, everything. And it was a beautiful experience, man, especially what Floyd told me after. He told me, like, hey, champ, come over here. I was going to go outside. And he called me into the locker room. And I was like, what's up, champ? He said, you're going to be a great fighter. You got a couple of things to work on, but you're going to be a great fighter. Keep it up. And I mean, just to hear that from, you know, one of the greatest in the sport, it's motivating. It's definitely something. It's a sign from God. And that, you know, just pushes me every day, man.
Awesome. And then just quickly on your brother, I know you support your brother Sebastian quite a bit. You know, how's his amateur career going? And I bet he can't wait to jump in the pro ring.
Oh man, he's excited, man. I'm excited. Most importantly, he just moved up in weight to 156. He's maybe a little bit. I guess he's maybe 6 foot, between 6 foot and 6'1". He's growing, man, and he's just going to turn 17 in January 31st. So he's still growing, and I'm excited to see how he's going to be, man, because the guy has a faster jab than me, and he's long, and he has a heavy hand as well, just like Mario. So I'm excited to see how he's going to do. But he just moved up to 156. I think they're going to regional silver gloves this weekend, and from there they'll be going to nationals. But I'm excited to see how he's going to be, man. My managers are keeping an eye on him for sure.
Sweet. And last question, I want the fans to know that you own a pig. Tell us about this pig, because I don't meet many fighters that own pigs.
No, bro. Okay, well, this is the thing. I had to give them away, unfortunately. You know, yeah, man. I've been all over the place. Nobody's home to take care of them. So sadly, I had to give them away. But not really sadly, but because twice he's already broken the Wi-Fi cord. He's real destructive. I mean, he kind of had to go, bro. But I mean, he's in a better place now. So
fun fact, Omar Juarez used to own a pig. Okay, so Omar, tell the fans where they can follow you on social media, and we'll sign out.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at I am Omar Juarez. I appreciate everyone so much for the support. Appreciate Boxing King Media. And thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. February 5th, Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Barrios and Thurman undercard.
Sweet, Omar. It's been great chatting to you, and we can't wait to see you fight on Feb 5th.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.